And this is how we get down. What is good, BTT Universe? Welcome in to your daily sports and sports betting brand of record. We call it Coaching Company. And we're back in the friendly confines for 2 days only this week. And then we are wheels up to the truest because we never stop grinding here at Coaching Company. We are live on the Stadium Network every single day, and wherever Stadium is, Amazon Prime Video, DirecTV, YouTube TV, Roku TV, and now Vizio has signed on. It's more and more, and we grow with it. If you want your voice to be heard, you can do it through being a premium member at BTT or through a super sticker if one of my guys just put a little bit of extra cash in your pocket. Now, as many of you know, Monday's our busiest day here at the brand. Not only do we have Coaching Company, you can watch it live or on demand at 1 p.m. Eastern time on our BTT YouTube channel, the Coach and Bro Show, and then, of course, immediately after Monday Night Raw, because Stadium's all about pro wrestling, and so are we. It is the last word as we head towards Backlash and the WWE. But, ladies and gentlemen, today's also another big day because our friends over at Deemerbox, they said, Coach, we want to reward one very lucky fan. So look what I have right in front of me. The most durable Bluetooth speaker on the market today. And this is a BTT branded one. So how you enter will be in the chat. It'll be all over the screen. We're going to run this for a couple of weeks. You can enter. Costs you nothing. And one very lucky person will win this BTT Deemerbox. I promise you, I'm not going to keep it for myself. All right, that's all the housekeeping we need to do. Today's going to be a fantastic day. It's going to be a fantastic week. We've got red hot best bets, and I got the best damn company in the business. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to beat the books. And you guys know on a Monday morning, it's an embarrassment of riches. Look who I have today. And I'm shocked. I'm shocked that he's come out of the cave the way that hockey is going right now, live from South Beach and ESPN. My man, Jonathan Zaslow. Z-Man, good morning, sir.
Good morning, guys. I am very pumped. This is a very if you look at this face here and you say, whoa, Zaz, that's a really serious face. You're right. Because this is a serious house. The Zaslow Mansion is very serious today. Game 1, Panthers, Maple Leafs. All right, so no text tonight, no emails, no nothing. We are in solitude this evening. It's a serious house.
Very, very good. We'll have plenty more from Z coming up in a matter of minutes on all things hockey, especially over the weekend. And we're all going to be very serious to support him in the Zaslow Mansion. Next, he is live from the Dirty Dirty. He is the best damn soccer handicapper in the business. Big Chuck, good morning.
Morning, Coach, man, company. Nice little weekend on the pitch, but we turn the page now. We have some Champions League. We have a little early today, and then some Champions League, Europa Conference. Do it all over again, ready to get it going.
2 of our favorite words, day soccer, is what we're all about. Now, this man was all over the place over the weekend. Horse racing, boxing, the Pope, whatever you want, he's got it. He's our numbers guy for a reason. Please say good morning to Rafael Esparza. Good morning, Rafael.
Good morning, Coach. Good morning, everybody. I actually did ask for Grand Theft Auto. When are they going to release it? Quit backdating it so you can bet on that. Yes, minus $3 will be released by 2026.
Oh, my God. Grand Theft Auto. Man. I would love to see the little mouse that goes around in your head every single day. I really, really would. All right. Now, this man has entered into the offseason in his day job, which is the post-game for the Memphis Grizzlies, but he's right here all the time, live from Memphis, Tennessee. My man, DG. Good morning, sir.
Morning, Coach. Good morning, guys. Little weekend wagers this past weekend, 9-4. 6 of the 9 wins were all plus money plays. Yeah, we were banging this weekend. It was fun.
That's what were you doing this weekend?
We were banging the books, Coach.
Okay. My bad. Sorry, I've got a new IFP. By the way, weekday wagers every single day right here on this YouTube channel as well at 3 p.m. Eastern time. DG, Mark from JTS, who will join us momentarily, and Robbie Hockey as well. All right, gentlemen, we got to get into it because I have a challenge for all of you. I want 5 winning days at the brand. You can't have 5 unless you have 1. So, Big Chuck, I'm coming over to you. Where are we starting today, sir?
Siri,
Ah.
Genoa AC Milan, who hit the road averaging 1.17 goals away from home. Play one, give me AC Milan, team total over 1.5 goals. Then the premium play of the day takes place in the MLB with the Mariners and the Athletics. And with the wind blowing out in Sacktown and the total going over in 7 of Seattle's last 8 games, I'll go ahead and back the over 9 between these two tonight.
Boom, and there you see the QR code on the screen. You want to be a part of Big Chuck's side hustle? So do we. That's how you do it. You play 1 or 2 games. It pays for the entire year. And as my man Kevin, who's a premium member of BTT, says in the chat, Chuck had 5 weeks of winning the past 2 days. That's simply what he does. It's simply what he does. Now, I know Z likes to joke a lot when it comes to hockey and the Florida Panthers, but make no mistake about it. Nobody knows more about this than my man sitting there right next to me right now. So I'm going to get out of the way, take a step back. You, sir, now have the floor.
These aren't jokes. How dare you? There's no joking going on, especially tonight. Panthers, Maple Leafs, game 1. The Panthers are exactly who we thought they were. They showed that in round 1, and now no one's messing around. I mean, you see the series price on the Panthers. They're minus 175. That's not the play we're giving out today. I'm just trying to make the point that everybody has realized, whoa, we underestimated the Stanley Cup champs, and now everybody's back on board. Let's go with the Panthers puck line tonight, all right? I expect a major effort from the Panthers again this evening. They were 3-1 in the regular season against the Toronto Maple Leafs, and now they're facing a Leafs team that has not been past the second round in the Stanley Cup playoffs in 1,000 years. We're going with the Panthers puck line tonight, minus 1.5. It gives us plus 205. We love the puck line when we're talking about great teams because it's certainly realistic that the Panthers can win by multiple goals, but at the very least, do I believe that the Panthers can be up a goal and the Leafs have to pull the goalie late in the game? Yes. So we're always going to be in it as far as being able to cover that puck line. So plus 205. And then let's look at some player props for tonight. That Panther top line led by the captain, Sasha Barkov, and also a red-hot Carter Verhaeghe, plus also known as a Maple Leafs killer from the postseason 2 weeks ago with Carter Verhaeghe. So let's go with Verhaeghe and Barkov just registering 1 point apiece, all right? We're going to parlay that together, giving us plus 110. That's how we're making the money tonight.
On a Monday, but I think it's very apropos after the last 60 to 75 seconds of you sitting at home listening to that. And feel free to do it with me. But ladies and gentlemen, do you want to do the work? I didn't think so. Thank you, Z. Thank you very much. Now, let's keep it rolling. DG, I'm coming over to you, big boy. I know you got 2 plays. What do you have?
Everybody likes an oatmeal cream pie. I haven't met any person that I trust that doesn't. Well, today we're going to give you a little oatmeal cream pie. We're going to start your day and we're going to end your day. 2+ walks parlay at plus 126. Sandy Alcantara, 26 innings pitched this season. He's had 17 walks in those 26 innings pitched. Going against the Dodgers, he's going to continue his walks parlay here. And then Luis Severino, 4 walks against Seattle earlier this season. Seattle has allowed the starting pitcher to have 2+ walks in 14 of the last 16 games they faced. So we're going to go ahead and go both guys to get a walks parlay, two of them at plus 126. All right, so that's your sandwich. Let's go to the cream filling. This is Derek White, over 24.5 points, rebounds, and assists. It's at plus 100. He's averaging 30 points, rebounds, and assists versus the Knicks this season. He only missed that one game versus them. He had 24 in that game. I expect him to get 25 points, rebounds, and assists tonight for plus 100.
Producer man, yeah. Raise of hands if anybody else is feeling a little weird after DG's giving his takes today. Anybody else? My bingo card, oatmeal cream pie. We're clanging it. DG's on it this morning. DG is on it this morning. All right, Rafael, I'm coming over to you. I've got 6 great best bets already. Let's make it 8.
We're going to some playoff hoops, the NBA. We're going to take Russell Westbrook over 15.5 points and rebounds. He's hit this in 3 straight games. In the playoffs, he's averaging 14 points a game. And against OKC, the 4 games this year, he's averaging 14 points a game. So I can just get 1 rebound, 2 rebounds with nothing. I'll cash this ticket with Russell Westbrook over 15.5. And then give me the Cubs pitcher, Matthew Boyd, over 5.5 strikeouts plus 105. He's facing the Giants. The Giants suck against left-handed pitching. They've struck out 91 times against lefties and are only hitting .216 against left-handers. I think Matthew Boyd mows down the Giants in Wrigley today, the wind blowing in. So I see him having a nice strikeout day.
I like it a lot. Coming up in 22 minutes, by the way, we're breaking down everything NBA. So we'll dive deeper into 2 game ones tonight, Knicks and the Celtics, and also the Nuggets and the Thunder. But we have an incredible new partnership, and so many of you have joined us with what we're doing over at JTS, Just the Stats Sports. And my man Mark is here this morning. Every single day we have a JTS play of the day. Mark, how did the weekend go for you guys over with the crew at the site?
Coach, we've been killing it. The AI model projections have been dead on for the NBA as well as the MLB. And these plays of the day have hit 2 days in a row. We're making it 3 with this one.
Let's go.
You got it. We're going to start with Cincinnati's Brady Singer, who's about to celebrate Cinco de Mayo by handing out walks like free margaritas at happy hour. He walked 3 Braves the first time he faced them, and now he gets an Atlanta lineup that's way more disciplined at home. If you have control issues and face the Braves at Truist, you're not pitching, you're donating. So all we need him to do is go for 2 walks today, and we're going to shift gears and jump to the court where we're backing Denver Nugget Michael Porter Jr., who is back in Jedi mode on this revenge of the 5th day. We are backing him to get 10 or more points. MPJ is the one dishing out pain to the empire known as OKC. He's averaged 18 points in 10 career games versus the Thunder. And with all eyes on the Joker and Murray, MPJ is going to go out there launching jumpers like blasters. But unlike Stormtroopers, he's actually going to hit the target. Put them together, walks and points, salsa and sabers, and that is your plus 103 Just a Stat Sports Play of the Day.
Put every tool in your toolbox. There's the QR code. We're going to do you a solid. BTT30 is the code. 30 days for free. You can check out the entire thing. Then after that, you're going to be playing with house money anyway. The algorithm and the AI model is absolutely destroying it. Now, every single money at this time. 45 seconds, Z. What was trending on ESPN radio over the weekend?
Oh, it's the NBA playoffs. I mean, it was Game 7, and Clippers and Nuggets, and then of course yesterday Warriors and Rockets. It was Game 7 in the association, and I'll tell you, I was dead wrong about the Warriors last night. I should have known better, Coach.
I felt the same way. I was like, man, we're going to get to Game 7. It's going to be all about the Rockets. DG, you're my NBA guy. Give me 20 seconds. Were you surprised that the Warriors were up at halftime and then Buddy Hield ended up being the star?
Yeah, if you see what exactly happened in that entire Rockets and Warriors game, it was simply like the adjustments happened by Houston in games 5 and 6. Game 7, they had no more adjustments to make. That's when the Warriors were able to make adjustments, and then Buddy Hield went off. At that point, the Rockets could not keep up with the scoring with the Warriors.
Hield 22 points at halftime. Steph Curry only had 3 points at halftime, and then Steph had 19 points. I was actually sitting at Hamilton last night during this game, guys. I was culturing myself with my daughter. You guys were watching Draymond, Steph. I was watching Hamilton. Do you see how I went into my very astute speaking voice right there? Motivation. I'm sorry. All right, still to come. We're just getting started here on a Monday, and I got the best damn crew in the business. Still to come, Weekend Rewind. Also, hooping it up in 20 minutes. Also, what is the president doing with Nick Saban, perhaps? We're just getting started. This is Coach and Company, live as always on Stadium. All right, we continue on here on our brand new YouTube page. If you haven't subscribed yet, I encourage you to do so and turn on your notifications. Great story, guys, coming out of the Olympics. Gary Hall Jr. out here in L.A., his house burned down. He lost 10 of his Olympic medals. But now, Rafael, he got them all back. Replicas, but at least they gave them back to him. Pretty good feeling story right there.
It is. I mean, we all hear about the stories that with the wildfires in California, but we never hear about the positive stuff that comes out of it, the people that rebound and get back to him. So when I heard this story that he got replicas of his medals, that's a really, really cool story because he's always going to remember that.
Yeah, DG feels good.
Yeah, you're talking about a guy that he doesn't lose the memories, right? But it's those pieces of metal. It is something that he can show his kids, grandkids, whatever it might be. That is probably in the end of the day, you're able to tell your story with those medals. So him getting them back is a great story.
And Z, I remember when it happened, he was all over the local news out here. Just, I mean, tears, the whole thing. So this is kind of a nice little full circle moment.
Yeah, you love hearing that when it ends up getting made right and you see the emotion when he gets it back. Everybody feels good. What's wrong with everybody feeling good? Come on.
Nothing. And that's what that's our motto here on Mondays.
I know.
I'm telling you, what's wrong with everybody feeling good? I love it. Big Chuck, come over to you. What do you think about this? Because you don't really live in Olympic country down there in Louisiana.
It was a great gesture. I'm wondering how many other athletes lost their cherished possessions and if this will be a trend going forward, if they'll look to replace those as well.
I hope so. I have not heard of anybody else in those fires losing them, but certainly there have been stories of other athletes losing them, just losing them. So we'll see if maybe they do a whole thing now and maybe, just do one fell swoop. That would be kind of cool. Gentlemen, thank you very much. All right, we're just getting started here on Coaching Company. You guys can consume us however you want, social media, our brand new YouTube page. I encourage you to subscribe right here, but also on the Stadium Network. We are growing. They are growing. And I'm telling you right now, as we head into what we call the off season and everybody else kind of falls off, not us. Not Coaching Company. We're here every single weekday. We're back live in just 5 seconds. Okay, welcome back, everybody. I am the coach. This is Coach and Company. We are live on the Stadium Network on YouTube and also on social media. Now, every single Monday, do I have the best crew, best company? Of course I do. But we always like to look back at the biggest stories in sports because we're way more than just a sports betting show. So without further ado, it's time for a little weekend rewind. There are so many stories from the weekend. Where do we start? Well, you know what? Let's start on Friday night. And Rafael, that means I'm coming over to you because they had all of the promotion, all of the attention. They shut down Times Square for boxing for the first time ever. Jim Lampley's back on the call. However, start us off.
Yeah, today's Cinco de Mayo. When I think of Cinco de Mayo, I think of boxing, working in Vegas, going to many fights. And I was pumped to see the Times Square fights. We can't wait to see Garcia. And I gave it an F. Boxing deserved an F this weekend. Garcia gets knocked down, afraid to throw punches after he got knocked down. He loses the fight. Then on Saturday, we got Canelo Alvarez, king of Mexican fighters on Cinco de Mayo as of late. And he danced around for 12 rounds where I was trying to fall asleep or trying to stay awake and not fall asleep during the match. He wins. And now we're seeing Crawford and Canelo. We should have seen this fight 5 years ago, not now. I just think boxing, especially Cinco de Mayo weekend, got an F. Times Square, I was really disappointed.
A lot of people are saying the exact same thing. Ryan Garcia was in a van crying his eyes out after a year suspension, and that's the performance that he comes back with. Those big money fights for Ryan Garcia, they're done, at least for the next couple. He's not getting the 15, 20 million anymore because you can't fight like that and get paid like that. Rafael, great start. Now, on the ice, nobody covers hockey better for us than my man Z. He lives it, eats it, breathes it. Z, man, coming over to you. What'd you like on the weekend?
I mean, I got to tell you, if you're not watching the Stanley Cup playoffs, I don't know what you're doing with your life. I really don't. Last night, unbelievable. The St. Louis Blues, all right, Game 7 at the President's Trophy winning Winnipeg Jets, and the Blues have them on the ropes to get out to a quick 2-0 lead. It's 3-1 with under 3 minutes to go now in the third period. Winnipeg is desperate. They have to pull the goalie. They need 2 goals. They get one quick one, makes it 3-2. And then, as the seconds are ticking down, they score the game-tying goal with under 2 seconds remaining in their season. That sends the game to overtime, tied at 3. They end up going to double overtime. Winnipeg wins it on the home ice. They win 4-3. Handshakes at the end of the night, and just devastation for the St. Louis Blues, who had it right there in front of them. I don't even, like, if you're a Blues fan, you got to be asking yourself, why do I even do this? Like, why do I care? You want to jump off a building with the ending to that game. And it wasn't the only one, because the night before, you had the Dallas Stars and the Colorado Avalanche. Game 7 in Dallas, where the Avs, they're up 2-0 in the third period, and then you get 2 goals from former Av. They traded him this year. Mikko Rantanen scores a pair of goals to tie the game in the third period. The Stars would take the lead, and then Rantanen gets an empty netter. So down 2-0, Rantanen against his former team from this year, a hat trick in the third period, and the Stars wind up advancing. It's the greatest sport. Incredible.
I'm just going to let that resonate for a second. Let it wash over you. If you're not watching the NHL playoffs, like, what are you doing? I can't even imagine being not only a Blues fan, but can you imagine betting on that game? Can you imagine betting on the puck line, then on the money line, and then losing it? Oh, my gosh. Incredible. Z, well done, as always. All right, where do I go next? Well, there's another team that also got bounced out, but it was with, but a whimper in Game 7. Big Chuck, coming to you.
The Clippers' playoff woes continue, and yet another bounce from the playoffs after everyone's favorite to go and beat the Nuggets. 3 straight first-round exits for this storied franchise who has not made the finals in 55 years, and they are only 4-5 in Game 7s. Now, with a new stadium, I'm curious to see what this Clippers team does to see if they can attract new free agents, maybe turn this around, and eventually get to the finals and maybe hoist a championship.
That would be something, because right now nobody wants to come to Los Angeles or to California. Taxes are through the roof, so it's going to be really hard to get this team built up. Kawhi, James Harden sitting at home. Now, a team that is not sitting at home is the Golden State Warriors. They got it done in Game 7 on the road as the 7th seed. DG, coming to you.
So I was watching a little bit of NBA basketball, because who doesn't enjoy some NBA basketball right now in the playoffs? And then I see Draymond Green. He now is getting flagrant foul after flagrant foul instead of getting technicals. And what is this? It's like AI figuring out what is happening and then getting a little consciousness in life, because he now knows that if he does it during the play, it's not going to be a technical foul. It's going to be a flagrant. So now Draymond Green is going out and within the game doing the same thing he's been doing and being the same dirty player, but now he's doing it and getting flagrant fouls. Like, this dude is just off the rails. Like, I'm so ready for him to be out of the league. Unfortunately, for all the Draymond Green fans and podcast fans that there are, I'm sorry for you, because you have to watch a dude that is just dirty, but he's now figuring out that he can get flagrants instead of technicals, which helps.
And he is going nowhere with that damn podcast. I don't know if it's once a week, once every couple of weeks, but DG, well done. All right, as many of you know, this week I will be on the call. ESPN Bet, a very special betting stream for the truest. It's a signature event, an elevated event on the PGA Tour. So you know they got to call your boy, but I want to go to what happened over the weekend, because many of you may have missed it because of all the NBA and the NHL stuff. Scottie Scheffler, the number 1 player in the world with a bullet, proved it at the CJ Cup. He tied the all-time PGA Tour scoring record at 31 under par on a par 71. Absolutely bananas. His 14th career PGA Tour win. His first this year. And he says, man, I want to have 3 or 4. 3 or 4, and they only have 4 months left in the season. This man has shown us that since Tiger Woods 5 years ago, this is the man, the lowest odds we've ever seen to win, plus 300, plus 400. You can't bet on him. And then he goes out and he wins by 8. He was up by 8 going into the final round. This dude is changing the game again. His first win as a papa. He missed this event last year because his wife was pregnant with the son that he held in the post-round press conference yesterday. Nobody has a better life right now than my man, Scotty Scheffler. All right, another thing that happened over the weekend, Z, let me come over to you. There was pictures and video of a dinner. It was Luka, JJ Redick, and Rob Pelinka, the GM, but there was no LeBron James in sight. Should we read more into it than what it is?
No. I mean, not every dinner that the team has to include LeBron James. And the fact of the matter is, if we're talking about decisions for the future, Luka should be the guy that's being consulted. I mean, you heard LeBron. Now, LeBron pulls the move, all right, where, it's don't look over there, don't look over here, look over there, where instead of paying attention to us getting ousted in the first round again, let's talk about how I don't know what my future holds, all right? He does that move at the end of every season. But the truth is, yeah, Luka's the guy who's going to be there long term. So if you're actually going to ask someone about decisions and what they think moving forward, Luka would be the guy. But at the same time, for all we know, they invited LeBron, and he's already off to Cabo, to spend the the off season with his family. So no, I don't look into that at all.
All right, so I agree with Z. DG, let me come over to you. Was this just something? Because they went to a restaurant also that they know there's going to be paparazzi outside. In LA, everybody knows the restaurants. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think there's something up to this. The fact that they don't invite LeBron is a little weird to me just overall, but the fact that they're having to kind of court Luka because he does have a player option coming up in 2 seasons. So next year he is under contract, but the season after that he is not. Well, LeBron has a player option as well. And so maybe it is discussions that are being had behind the scenes that, hey, if he doesn't opt in, saying LeBron doesn't opt in next season, what direction do we go? Because it will be Luka's team, but also I think it might be the front office saying, you know what, maybe it is the best interest of the Lakers if LeBron doesn't opt in. So if we can spin it that way, even better.
That's an interesting take. It really, really is, because Rafael, up until this point, we've never discussed an NBA in the last 20 years without a LeBron James playing a major role. But also maybe they needed to have a little tough love with Luka, saying, listen, if you're going to be our guy, you got to be in better shape, play better defense, be a better leader, a lot of things.
If you're going to tell him to be in better shape, why would you take him to a restaurant? That's what I don't understand. Maybe take him to the gym or something. But I don't think that LeBron's either going to be in a Lakers uniform or he retires. He ain't going anywhere else. I think that's where we can probably put that one to bed. But maybe they did invite him in, like you said. Maybe he's on vacation. Maybe he's thinking about his knee surgery because he does have a knee injury now that he said he probably wouldn't be able to play if they won that game. So there could be many reasons why LeBron wasn't there.
Big Chuck, bring it home for me, big boy. What do you think about this?
Yeah, I thought it was a little slick dinner to discuss what they were going to do without LeBron, what Luka's thoughts were, who he wanted to bring in. So I think this might be a little dissension amongst the ranks.
I think you might be right. Now, we'll see. LeBron James has been very, very, as Z said, coy about his future and what that looks like and what it's going to be. But I think a year ago, right here, in this universe, we were talking about LeBron, is he going to take less money for his son? That narrative, gentlemen, has now gone. We don't even talk about Bronny James anymore. That's not even an issue right now because they got to figure out what this team is going to look like. Because when you're charging the amount of money you charge for front row tickets, first row tickets, and you're out in the first round as a 3 seed after you shock the world with this particular trade, something's got to be done. You can't just sit there. And the Clippers too. Both teams gone in round number 1. That's not good if you're out here in La La Land like I am. Gentlemen, well done on the Weekend Rewind. All right, coming up next, we've got Hoop It Up, 2 big series that I cannot wait for, and they both kick off tonight. We're talking the Knicks and the Celtics. Can the Knicks shock the world as the Celtics are minus 800, and the Nuggets and the Thunder, well, OKC, continue to be dominant? It's Coaching Company. We are live, as always, on Stadium. Hey, let's go around. I've got to take a step away. Z-Man, let's start. Michigan, head coach going to get suspended for 2 games. Do we even care at this point? Then piggyback. I'll be right back.
I mean, I think the place where I would say that I care is I can't believe this is still going on. Like, aren't we done with this? This is a several years ago thing now. and Sharon Moore, self-imposed by Michigan, 2-game ban, going back to, the scandal from a few seasons ago. So I'm surprised that this is still going on, is the way that I would go.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised it's still going on as well. I thought they would knock it out last season, but I guess they're going to get it when it's not as high profile games. So luckily they're playing the, I believe, Central Michigans of the world. Go ahead and get it done with, and that way the meat of the order comes up, and he's still back for those games.
I can't wait to see when people ask me, is this going to change the odds for Central Michigan, or in week 2 they play Nebraska? No, we're not. It's not going to change the odds. Nobody cares about this story anymore in Michigan.
Well, my question is why is a new coach now having to face the penalties of the old regime? That's not how it works. Like, that's not how all this should happen. And so the fact that the old regime is now causing issues to the new regime of coach, it just doesn't make sense. Like, just college sports in general doesn't make sense because of how they self-impose these issues. And so I'm just excited to maybe get past this, even though, just like Z said, I thought we were already past it anyway.
I thought we were too, and that's the whole reason why Harbaugh left town. He didn't want to stick around for all this. But let's be honest. You're missing a game against Central Michigan and Nebraska. You're missing absolutely nothing.
No, I don't think it's Central Michigan and Nebraska, unless I'm looking wrong here.
Did I read the – what is it?
New Mexico and at Oklahoma, right?
Okay,
yes.
let me – okay. Yes. No, the suspension will be for Michigan's Week 3 and Week 4 games against Central Michigan and Nebraska.
Oh, so it's not to start the season?
No, they open the season by hosting New Mexico, and then they go to Oklahoma, but he won't be suspended till Week 3 and Week 4.
What is
Interesting.
that?
Interesting. We're back live in 5 seconds. Okay, welcome back, everybody. This is the coach. This is Coach and Company. We're past the bottom of the hour, having a great Monday. And if you are just checking us out for the very first time, welcome in. We have 3 big shows at the brand today. We're always live on Stadium right here, 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time. And then we're all about pro wrestling, 1 p.m. Eastern Time, the Coach and Bro Show. And then tonight, immediately following Monday Night Raw, we have The Last Word, also on our BTT YouTube channel. But when you get 2 series like what we're going to have starting tonight in the NBA, there is nothing more we could possibly ask for other than the best company in the business breaking it all down. It's time to hoop it up. Oh, somewhere Big Tommy C is losing his mind because this is what he wanted. He's the biggest Celtics fan that I know. Raph, we're going to start with you because we've got to talk numbers now for this series. It's game number 1 tonight. The Celtics in game number 1, laying 9.5. The total is 212.5, -110. On the money line, the Knicks come back at +310. But the series price is where I want to start. Start with me at -800. We can't do anything with that.
No, unless we see something like we saw last night where the Pacers stole game 1 in Cleveland, which is ironically how the money has been coming in since last night and this morning. Everyone's putting down Knick money thinking, okay, maybe Boston will come out a little rusty. Maybe they'll show some rust. New York coming off a big series win against I can't remember, wherever they played. Can't remember. I just think the money's going to continue to come in on the Knicks today because bettors always bet what they see last, and they saw a dog win yesterday.
They did. Z, let me come over to you because this, for the NBA, take the finals out of it. This is the series that they wanted. 2 top 10 TV markets, including New York, including the Knicks, who haven't won in forever. Could there be a better scenario for the NBA playoffs than to have these 2 in a 7-game series?
Oh, this is a juicy series. I mean, there's no doubt about it. But and I understand people who will say the Knicks were 0-4 against Boston in the regular season, but this is now the playoffs. You're going to tip off tonight. The Celtics don't get points for that. They don't get games for that. The regular season doesn't matter, but I think it matters a little bit. All right, like it doesn't carry over to the postseason. I get that, but the Knicks were 0-4 against Boston in the regular season. It was by an average of over 16 points per game. Now, you want to add a little bit of context, which some of those games were the second night of back-to-back while Boston was off. that's certainly important to make sure you add that context because we always have at least one day in between games now at this point in the playoffs, so I get it. But I do think it means something that Boston had such an easy time with New York in the regular season.
Great take. DG, let me come over to you because it's a very difficult thing when you're trying to equate what happened in the regular season, and then you also got to break down what happened in the first round because the Celtics, they were able to dismantle Orlando with Jason Tatum not even playing every single game. But when he did come back for the closeout game, he went absolutely bananas. So they looked to be at full throttle. Jalen Brunson had an ankle issue, and he goes off in game number 6. So it seems like, at least on paper, that both teams are good to go.
Yeah, both teams I think are good to go. And I think the matchups is what I'm looking at the most. I expect the Celtics to win this first game handily. So I expect them a double-digit win in the first game mainly. But I'm looking at the matchups between Jalen Brunson, Drew Holiday. Drew Holiday's defense is just so good, especially going against a guy like Jalen Brunson. But then, Tatum and whatever kind of defender they want to throw at him, whether it's OG or if it is Bridges. And then you have the bigs of Karl-Anthony Towns, who should go off this series going against Porzingis or old man Al Horford. It's going to be good matchups all around. And I'm looking at offensively because there's a lot of good defense, but I think the offense ends up winning, and that's going to be the Celtics.
So if the offense wins, Big Chuck, maybe we should look at the total, 212.5, because usually early in playoff series, it's a little more free-flowing, and then as the series gets on, it's a lot more defensive-minded. Have you looked at the total?
I've definitely looked at this total. It was actually, I'm seeing some 213s pop up, which is kind of confusing to me. I had correlated this to the Celtics and under, even though 4 of their last 5 meetings have went over the total. But I agree with DG. I think this is a blowout spot. Normally that is in that first game. And plus, this is the worst matchup for the Knicks. They've lost 9 of the last 10 to the Celtics, and the Celtics have covered for the last 5 at home against the Knickerbockers.
Real quick, let's play a very quick game of over-under. Z-Man, Brunson and Tatum have the same number at BetMGM. It's 27.5. Juice is a little bit different. Of these two superstars, which one goes over their number?
I would go over on both of them. I think you're going to, I would go over on both. I think you're going to get, especially at home, I like Tatum with the over there and Brunson coming off just such a fantastic Game 6 performance for, against Detroit. I like Brunson on the over as well.
DG, talk to me.
Yeah, I'm going to go over on Tatum, under on Jalen Brunson, just because I don't think that he can score on Drew Holiday consistently.
Rafi.
Opposite. Brunson over, Tatum under. Because if Celtics win, does that mean it's a double-digit win and he's on the bench for the fourth quarter resting his wrist?
That's a very interesting take because I think they will try to protect him. But a tight game, and then they both go to the over. Interesting. Big Chuck, what do you think?
Tatum over, Brunson over. I agree. Under, I agree. Holiday will potentially lock him up. Cat will probably be the one who'll probably go off for the Knicks.
So you like Cat to go off for the next? I'll have to look. Rafael, can you look up his number while we go on to the next one, please? I want to make sure we have that for everybody at home on whatever Karl-Anthony Towns' number is tonight. Real quick, Rafael, you said in the chat there's some 5-figure bets coming in this morning on what?
The first game. People are betting the over in both games, which I'm a little bit shocked. I thought the under money would come in the Denver game.
Interesting. And that's exactly where we're going to go next. Z, I'm going to start with you because this is a marquee matchup. You got the Young Guns, OKC, the Thunder. They have dominated this entire season from start to finish. A remarkable consistency for their superstar, SGA. I don't think he's gone below 18 points since October. Something like that. It's been absolutely bananas. But now they face a team that, yes, they've won an NBA championship, but it was with the coach they fired right before the end of the regular season. So they get it done in 7 games. They get 1 day off, and now they travel to Oklahoma City. And it's the same number, Z, that the Celtics are laying tonight, 9.5, but the total is much higher at 225.5. Your take?
Yeah, I think the Nuggets are in big trouble for game number 1. You look at Oklahoma City and the amount of games essentially that they've played over the last few weeks. They had over a week off from the end of the regular season until the start of the postseason. And then they played just 4 games in and out against Memphis. And now they've been off for over a week since the end of their first round and the start of this one. And the Nuggets, of course, were in a grueling series, 7 games with the Clippers. This Thunder team was already super young and now super well rested and healthy. I think it's going to be hard times, Daddy, for the Nuggets.
Great freaking take. By the way, over at JTS, Mark says the model has this one going to 231. So playing the over. DG, do you like this to be an offensive show tonight?
I do. I'm going to look at the first half because I think this goes off early because there is going to be a run out from the Thunder. And I expect that the Nuggets chip away at some point during the third quarter. But as the fourth quarter, starts, we'll see the Thunder completely run off from them. And I expect just like the Celtics game against New York, I expect OKC in a blackout game there in OKC to kind of run at least double-digit win tonight for the Nuggets. I guess.
Or are they putting out like black T-shirts for everybody tonight?
All black.
That's going to be amazing. Now, Big Chuck, I love what DG just said because sometimes when you're coming off a grueling 7-game series, you can have a lot of energy for the first 24 minutes. So maybe the first half numbers across the board are something that we should look at.
Exactly what I was thinking. I think this is the classic blowout spot for OKC. They could potentially put the Nuggets away, but I think we'd see points early in this one. Then it kind of dies down in the second half. That first half over, second half under. Classic blowout spot. I think OKC runs them out of the building. And I'm surprised at this number. I'm seeing some 225.5. So I had 225, but I still like the under. It's went under in 7 of their last 9 meetings.
I think it's also going to be about, is it a blowout just like the Knicks and the Celtics? Because you also have to play that game, Rafael, and the series price is minus 700 right now for Oklahoma City, just like the Celtics were minus 800. But you want to make sure that you keep your guys healthy within that process. So is there a way to bet Oklahoma City, maybe a series specific perhaps?
Pray that they lose game 1, then you get a much better price if they lose game 1. But I don't think this is going to happen. I think if there's one series price that's going to be blown out, I think it's this one. I just think OKC just has too much depth in their lineup to beat Denver. So this was probably maybe stay away, maybe live bet on this one. But I agree with Big Chuck. The under, this total could close at 227 being the last game. I think defense is going to be a part of this series and offense in the East series between Boston. So I think under is a play in this matchup.
All right, I got 90 total seconds for everybody. Let's play that over-under again. Z, I'm going to start with you. SGA's number is 32.5 tonight. Jokic is 27.5. Who goes over?
I'm going to go under for both of them. I think Oklahoma City, you're going to see it all around, well-balanced. So I certainly am going to go under with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Jokic, I would contemplate a little further, but I'm going to go under with him as well.
DG?
Yeah, I'm going to go over on the Joker and then under on SGA for the exact same reason. I just think that the Joker has to score for this team to win, and because of that, I think he puts up some points.
Rafi?
Couldn't agree more. Joker's going to have an overall stat game. OKC, everyone's going to have a game. So I agree over on Joker, under on SGA.
Big Chuck?
I like under on both as well. I could see this as a blowout, and they go ahead and bench the Joker. He could get close to that, but be right there at that number, but still get benched in the second half, fourth quarter.
And over at JTS, Mark tells us that the Oklahoma City team total is the play over 117.5. Real quick, Rafi, 20 seconds. That's an interesting take. Do you like that one?
No, I just think it's going to be an under game. You can probably wait. This one will probably move to 118.5, just the amount of money that's coming in on this total. So if you want to bet the over, bet the 117.5 now.
Again, go over to JTS. I'm telling you, the model is absolutely destroying it. The algorithm, just the tools that you have in your toolbox, just try us out. BTT30 is the code, and I'm telling you, you guys will not regret it. Now, speaking of regret, I am quite sure the NCAA and all the colleges regret right now NIL and what it is all about. How does the President of the United States involvement change what we could know as the current NIL? We discuss that next on the other side. Having a great vibe today. It's Coach and Company right here, as always, on Stadium. Come on back. All right, the NFL draft continues to move around to all the different NFL cities. And Z, they announced today, I saw it on ESPN.com, that next year will be Pittsburgh, but then Washington is going to get the draft in 2027. Why do you think all of these cities are so desperate now to get the draft? Because everybody wants it.
Well, because they've realized that this is just another big event that they can hold at neutral sites where cities and teams, they wind up bidding and the NFL makes more money. You saw this past week, last week in Green Bay, you had, what are we talking? It was 250,000 people, so it's just another event where everyone can come together. And as opposed to the Super Bowl where it's an actual game, this event, it springs hope. It springs eternal hope. So it's the kind of event where people are excited to wind up attending and there's really no pressure.
I still think, as you were giving that take, there are still guys that are still walking from their couches all the way up to the podium. It was the longest walk in the history of the NFL draft. So, DG, why do you think all these teams now are saying, man, I want that? I think we all know the reason, but I'd love to hear you say it.
Yeah, I think it's because it is money, and it is a little bit of kind of bringing some eyeballs to your franchise. But if you look at Washington, this is another reason you get rewarded. They're going to build a new stadium. You're getting rewarded to bring people into your city to maybe check out the new stadium, whether it's done completely or very close to being done. They're going to get a chance to look at this new stadium and then be completely in awe of it because I bet it's awesome.
But Rafael, I'm thinking of the logistics. Can you imagine trying to go to Washington and being a part of anything with the way the traffic and the highways are there?
Traffic, security. I'm just waiting for the draft to go to Miami because I want Zaslow's spare bedroom when it goes to Miami. I'm going there.
The Zaslow mansion is going to be closed whenever the draft shows up in Miami, huh, Z?
The rent is very high in the Zaslow mansion. All right. So save up your shekels and then we'll have a conversation.
I got the coaching company credit card.
So, yeah, somebody can have the top bunk. You can have the top bunk. That would actually be kind of cool, to be honest with you. All right. We have something very, very, very interesting that came out overnight. We discuss it next. We are back live in just 5 seconds. Okay, welcome back, everybody. I am the coach. This is Coach and Company live on Stadium, on YouTube, on social. However you digest us, thank you very much. By the way, Rafael in the chat said the Oklahoma City team total is now moved to 118. So shop around. Those half points more times than not certainly play a part. All right, one quick topic before we lock it in. And Z, I want to start with you because President Donald Trump spoke at Alabama as the commencement speaker last week. He then met with Nick Saban afterwards. We know that Nick Saban quit Alabama in large part because he got tired of NIL running crazy. So now the president has put it out there that he's thinking about an executive order to try to regulate NIL. What would be your take on that?
I mean, look, I understand the attitude from people, which would be, hey, you got, there are wars going on in other countries, a lot more important stuff than NIL college athletes. But from a selfish perspective, yeah, I hope something gets done here. I mean, I work in sports and I see what's going on with NIL. It's not the most important thing going on in the world, but for, what I like as a fan and what I do for a career, I would like some balance and order restored in college sports. So if the president can wind up helping out in that regard, I'm all for it.
Could not say it any better. It's bananas. And like Kirk Herbstreit said, DG, a couple weeks ago, NIL was supposed to be name, image, likeness. Basically, if you are marketable enough to get commercials and get these companies to pay you, that's what it's for. It's not to pay you to come play as the right tackle for the Nebraska Cornhuskers. That's not what NIL is. So if we can have anything regulated, I'm all for it. What about you?
Yeah, I would love to regulate it. I would love to have some kind of a salary cap. That would make the most sense.
Yes.
But can I just speak real clearly for a second? Why is it taking the president of the United States to step in to make this decision? Like the NCAA, bro, wake up. Like, you can make this decision too. Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, why he has to be the one who makes the decision, it's just like mind-boggling to me.
Because there's some people that just don't like making decisions as leaders. And we've seen the NCAA has leaders that are like that. They want to have a meeting to have a meeting to have a meeting. Rafael, your take?
It's going to be very interesting. I'm glad Trump spoke to someone who probably has the best words about it. He spoke to Saban. He didn't speak to the Central Michigan head coach or somebody else. He spoke to Nick Saban. I give him credit for that.
Big Chuck, wrap us up.
I'm glad to see some regulations come along. He can't put any tariffs on it, but I'm glad to see something is being done. That's kind of the wild, wild west now. So hopefully he gets it done, Mr. Donald Trump.
I just think that these kids also have to understand what it is. It's kind of like sports betting was 6 or 7 years ago when we thought we invented it, even though around the world they've been doing it for, 100 years. But now the craziness has gone away, and now these sports books have to sit down and say, how do we really do this? And that's where you come with shows like us. Well, NIL is the same thing. These high school kids have got to understand you've done nothing before you get to college. That's not when you get paid. So that's got to end, and hopefully it will end very, very soon. Gentlemen, well done. Now, a lot of things change throughout the hour. We understand that. You got a lot going on. You got a job. Maybe you don't have a break, whatever it is. But we like to make sure we get the numbers right. And as Rafael continues to update in the chat, they move. So it's now time, ladies and gentlemen, to lock it in. All right, here we go. We start top to bottom, 10 seconds or less, 1 or 2 nuggets is all that I need. Big Chuck, start us off.
Italy, Serie Genoa, AC Milan, with AC Milan averaging 1.7 team goals on the road. Play one, AC Milan team total over 1.5. And then the premium play of the day in the MLB, Mariners, Athletics, and with the wind blowing out in Sacktown and the total going over in 7 of Seattle's last 8 games, I'll back the over 9 between these two tonight.
And there is the QR code if you want to be a part of the side hustle that Big Chuck has going on every single day, 1 or 2 games. You play for the whole year. There it is right there. Be a part of that. I love to support it. Now, my man Z, let's go.
All right, my dogs, the Florida Panthers tonight. We're playing the puck line. Panthers, Leafs, game 1, minus a goal and a half is at plus 205. And then we're going to look right at that Panther top line. The captain, Sasha Barkov, Leaf killer, Carter Verhaeghe. We're going to parlay 1+ point apiece for each of them. You can get it done on 1 goal. They play on the same line. Lickety split. That's at plus 110.
Boom and boom. God, I love the Z-Man so much. All right, DG, coming over to you. What do you got?
Back to our oatmeal cream pie here. We're going to go with the 2+ walks parlay. It's plus 126. Seti Alcantara for the Miami, but also Luis Severino going against Seattle tonight. Both guys are facing teams in the top 6 and walk strong. And everybody's wondering, what color is the cream filling in an oatmeal cream pie? It's white. Derek White, over 24.5 points, rebounds, and assists at plus 100. He's averaging 30 points, rebounds, and assists versus the Knicks. Going to continue tonight.
I'll be honest with you. I didn't really know where you were going with that one, so I'm glad it was white. All right, Rafael, my numbers guy. Let's go.
We're in the NBA playoffs. Give me Russell Westbrook over 15.5 points and rebounds, laying to 3 nickels. He's averaging 14 points in the playoffs and averaging 14 points versus OKC. And in baseball, give me Matthew Boyd, Cubs starter, over 5.5. Now it's even money. This was plus 105 about 45 minutes ago. Always get the best number. Strikeouts thrown. Giants stink against left-handers. They're striking out 91 times whenever a left-hander is on the mound.
All right, and we love our new partnership with JTS. Mark, what is our JTS play of the day?
Coach, we've got a Cinco de Mayo play for Cincinnati's Brady Singer to go over 1.5 walks. He's already walked the Braves. He doled out 3 walks the first time he met them, and now he's facing a lineup that's a lot more disciplined than the one he faced earlier. And we're going to also pair him with Denver Nugget Michael Porter Jr. to go revenge of the 5th and get 10 or more points against OKC, where he is shooting like a stormtrooper trained by Steph Curry. Put them both together for a plus 103 Just a Stat Sports play of the day.
All right, and there is the QR code. Download it. Use our code BTT30. That's 30 days for free. You get everything. They are growing. We are growing with them, and we want you to grow with us. Then, how do we make you a smarter sports bettor? How about a little inside info? Rafi, what do we got today?
Yeah, I chose a good one for a live bet trend. This is for live. The Milwaukee Brewers are 0-10 when their opponent scores first. So keep an eye on the Brewers. If they go down 1-0, bet against them for live betting.
Love it. Absolutely love it. All right, guys, we're down to less than 2 minutes here. We've already talked about the NBA a lot, but I want to know tonight, And maybe I shouldn't even ask Z. There's 3 big ones. You got hockey, then you got 2 big NBA games. What game are we most looking forward to watching that will be on the main screen? Z, I'll just give it to you because I just want to hear you say it.
I mean, why do you ask questions that you already know the answers to? I mean, tonight, Panthers, Leafs. You know what that means. Bad news for the Leafs. What are we talking about? So Panthers and Leafs, that's on the main TV, obviously, and the NBA will get the small TV. It's a very serious household tonight, the Zaslow Mansion.
No text, no emails. DG, where are you going tonight?
I'm going to be watching the Knicks and the Celtics. I just think that there's going to be scoring early on in this game, and it's going to be free-flowing, so I'm going to watch that game for sure.
Chuck, what are you going to have on the main screen?
Well, it's got to be those Panthers. I think we have 2 potential blowouts in the NBA. Give me the NHL.
Respect to Z. What about you, Rafi?
I'm giving the other Miami team love. Give me Dodgers Marlins. No one watches the Marlins, so I'll watch the Marlins.
Whoa. Wait a second. We've got the Panthers in the NHL playoffs. We've got 2 NBA games. And you just said live on the air, Dodgers Marlins?
Because no one gives. Have you ever seen the crowds in Miami baseball games? At least people better be watching them on TV. I'm gonna watch.
Oh my God! On that note, producer man, give me my one shot. Do not forget, this starts today. You want to listen to all these games? This is the hardest core Bluetooth speaker on the market today. It's a BTT Studios infused, and one lucky person. You can sign up now, all over the screen, at our social media pages, whatever. It's going to be up for a couple of weeks, but we want you to be involved. Doesn't cost you anything right here. All right, understand this. There's only one thing left to do, and I believe you all know what that is. You've got your marching orders. Let's take all of these tickets straight to the pay window. My entire company, damn it, do I love them all. My man Z, DG, Rafael, Big Chuck, Mark, producer man. I'm simply the coach, trying to keep this train on said track. We grind for you, so we can win with you. It's what we're all about. This is Coaching Company Live, as always, on Stadium. Have a great day.